Hey there, hobby homesteaders. Welcome back to Peek's Peak. Today, it's time to get some work done in the shop. Now, we've had a lot of projects that we've done in the shop, and we don't share a whole lot of that in our videos, but now that we've got some motor swaps done and some of the big stuff out of the way that we needed to do, I need to get the shop cleaned up and organized because I'm about to finish up the rebuild on the Volkswagen motor. And it just so happened we were given some scraps and supplies from some friends of ours that are going to help us kind of fix up and organize the shop. So stick around, we'll show you what we got. So the first thing that we had given to us are some old kitchen cabinets. Some relatives of ours are redoing their kitchen. They had some nice old cabinets that they're taking out, and they asked if we'd be interested in them. I said, absolutely. Storage is always something you can't get enough of in a shop, so we're going to take those cabinets and find places to put those. We haven't picked those up yet, and we don't know what all we're getting, so I'm not going to start on that part of the process until I get those cabinets here and we can assess where we want to put all of those cabinets. But here's what else we got. So my father-in-law just finished rebuilding the deck on the back of their house, and the pallets we won't be using in the shop, but I can always find a use for pallets around here to set stuff on, keep it up off the ground, keep it up off the water and the moisture and all that. So pallets are always handy. And some of this lumber is just going to get burned. It needed to be disposed of. And so kind of in trade for the good stuff, we hauled everything off. So we're going to filter through this, and we're going to organize and keep the stuff that we can use for projects like chicken coops and you know, hunting blinds and that sort of thing. But there are also some good deck boards, including some 3 and 4 foot pieces of composite decking boards that we may be able to do some stuff inside the shop, like lining the walls. You know, we've used that styrofoam board on the walls as our insulation, but we don't have any protection on that. And I've been looking for a cheap way to cover that and protect that insulation while still keeping it looking halfway decent. And what I'm hoping is we have enough of this deck board that I can cover the walls about 6 or 8 feet high. But before we get into any of that, we're gonna have to get our cabinets here, find out what we've got in the way of cabinets and storage, and then we will build in around that accordingly. So pretty excited about all of this, but we're gonna have to get it all organized and ready to go. But the first thing I've gotta do, and I'm gonna blame Cameron for leaving me a mess, but the shop is a disaster. And the shop is always a disaster, but I like to blame it on Cameron because he comes in here and he does projects, and he'll leave engine blocks in the floor or whatever it is. There's an intake laying on the workbench over there. I actually already took an EJ20 Subaru WRX engine block and put it over in the barn because he's going to tear it down and sell the heads and stuff like that. So he can do that from the barn because it doesn't need to be in the floor of my shop. I'm gonna get all this stuff organized, sweep this out. I might even drag the pressure washer out and give her a good cleaning since it's been a while, and we'll start back fresh. Okay, phase 1 is complete. I got the garage cleaned up, the floors scrubbed and mopped and as clean as they'll get, and then I got all of the scrap lumber unloaded. Give you a little sneak peek. Here's some of what we got. These are 4 foot pieces of the, I don't know what you call it, Duratrax, of the composite deck board. And we have 47 4 foot pieces. Now, we also have about 50 12 foot treated 1x6s or treated deck boards. Now, these are used deck boards that were painted. They were taken up, and if you look at the bottom side of them, they look pretty nice, but then they have the little, you know, rusty nail dots and stuff like that on them. Kind of like our workbench back over here behind me. So, I'll show you our stack of lumber out here that we got. Got my trailer back. What we have here is, of course, I had the old pallet and the little cover that was on all of the composite decking that my father-in-law bought. So I brought it all here, stacked all the old lumber nice and neat on that, put the cover back over it, strapped it on, so that will stay good until I'm ready to get into that. I tore apart the old railings, and the spindles were not rotten, just kind of the screws holding them together. So I stacked all the spindles nice and neat, saved the scrap 2x4s that might be worthwhile in using, and I have a burn pile going to get rid of the scraps that are left over. But a lot of good, useful lumber here for just small projects and things like that. So I'm excited to see what we can do with it. And now, got the trailer all cleared off and ready to go tomorrow after church and pick up those cabinets. So pretty excited to see what all we get. All right, so we got our haul of lumber, got it all sorted out and put away. And now we went and picked up our cabinets. And we got about 6 foot worth of base cabinets, so we'll be able to make another workbench. And then we got 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7 wall cabinets and a pantry. So lots of extra storage. So what we're gonna do is kind of clear out this corner over here where I have a folding table as my engine building stand. And we're gonna get all that crap out of the way, and we'll mount the cabinets wherever we decide we wanna put them, and then I'm gonna actually paint them once I get them put up, because it's pouring rain outside. I wanted to set them out and spray them, but I can't do that today, so I figure we might as well just get them in place, and then I may mask off or do whatever, and then I'm gonna paint them. So let's get to work. All right, so awesome progress this morning. Cameron had to go to work this afternoon, so we got up this morning, got out here, and he helped me lay out the cabinets and figure out how they were gonna fit best to look natural in the shop. And I think it turned out pretty good for just piecing together what we had to work with. And we even got some scrap plywood when we picked up the cabinets, so we were able to make a workbench on top of the base cabinets. We got our pantry, got everything all mounted. It's not perfect. We didn't go the whole professional cabinet installer route and get everything just dead on as we installed these, because it's a shop and they're storage cabinets. But it all looks pretty good. Next, I'm going to make them match the other cabinets we've got in here. Got me a can of Rust-Oleum Gloss Black oil-based paint. I'm going to hit these cabinets with a coat of black paint and then paint the handles to match the others, and we should be looking pretty sharp. All right, so we got a lot done today, but I'm gonna have to quit because the paint is still tacky, and I've been kind of working around that. In fact, I made a mess on the workbench because I went ahead and worked and got sawdust on it on the wet paint. So I'll have to probably end up putting another coat on that if I can't get it swept off once it dries, but we'll see how that goes. But anyway, I was able to get kind of my backing boards put on there, And all of that is just to protect the styrofoam. You know, you work up here, you grind, you throw sparks and do all that stuff, swing tools, and I don't want to bust my styrofoam. So that's what that's for. And this is all just, that was free scraps from a deck build that my father-in-law did. So worked out just great, perfect, and it looks nice. So I'm real excited about it. Tomorrow night when I get home from work, I'll probably put the handles back on the cabinets, put the cabinet doors back on, and we'll have this part of it finished. Then we can go about using some of our other scrap lumber to work on the walls and do more insulation protection work. So yeah, coming right along. What are you doing?
I'm going high.
How high? Oh, now you can't go down. The locks are engaged. Now you're stuck. Good night. I'm going to eat supper. All right, so let's get some cabinet doors put on and some handles. And there you have it. We have another workbench corner of the garage with lots of storage, and it cost us all of $40 worth of paint, and that's it. We already had the screws, we got everything else given to us, scrap. Just hauling it off is all we had to do. So I think it turned out fantastic. This is gonna be a perfect storage area with a nice little workbench area. I love being able to repurpose and save money while still making it look pretty good. So I hope you guys enjoyed watching us do this little garage upgrade, and we're not finished because we have lots of deck boards left. So we are going to probably kind of carry this wall covering design on around the back area where the toolboxes are as protection for the styrofoam. It's not like I think I'm making it pretty necessarily. I think it works, but it's free wall covering, and that's what we're after. So anyway, hope you guys enjoyed the video, and I appreciate y'all watching. You all have a good day.